Yat a shike do shirene shit a Annalisa Rockridge Yinshia. Torticini nishle nakai dene a bashachin. Kin lachini a dashache nakai dene a dashanale. Akatiago dene azdan nishle. Yes, all is good. Hi, everybody. I am Annalisa Rockridge, and I'm going to be your yoga guide this afternoon, or your asana guide, as I have been corrected recently. And I'm bringing you a Vinyasa Flow yoga level 1 Zoom style. So I hope you had enough time to roll out your mat, grab any blocks, bolsters, and straps that you need to. And let's begin on our backs. So allow the floor to support you, Mother Earth to support you underneath you. So as you lay down with your head, shoulders, spine, buttocks, back of the legs. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Feel how the chest rises up. And then as you exhale, allow the belly to lower down towards the spine and get a little bit smaller. And let's continue to do that. As we inhale, take a deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale, allow the breath to continue to flow out gently through the nose. One more time, deep breath in through the nose. Feel how the chest rises up and the back of the ribs expand across the mat. When you're ready, open your mouth and sigh out all the air that you're holding on to. Let's begin to link our breath to our movement. So as you inhale, draw your right knee in towards your chest and then drive through your left heel. So as if you were going to press the wall in front of you with your left foot. Gently pick up your head and gaze down your body to look at your left foot. Take your left hand and gently guide your left thigh inwards toward the midline so that all 5 of your toes are pointing straight up into the sky. As you exhale, gently lower the head back down towards the mat, allowing the chin to stay tucked in towards the chest so it's not just jetting straight up into the sky. With every exhale, grow tall through the sides of the waist. And then when you inhale, draw the right knee in closer towards the right shoulder. Continue to breathe deep into this Ekapada Apanasana. And then when you're ready, on your next exhale, let go of the right knee and extend both feet out in front of you. And then with an inhale, allow the left knee to draw in towards the chest and extend through the right heel. But this time without actually moving your head, imagine by placing your right hand on your right thigh that your right foot is internally rotating so all 5 of your toes are now pointing straight up into the sky. Take a deep breath, feel how the back of the ribs expand across the mat. And then as you exhale, continue to push out, driving through your left heel, growing tall through the sides of the waist. You guys are doing fine, fantastic. Continue to breathe here, one more breath here on your own. When you're ready, as you exhale, both feet extend straight out in front of you. When you're ready, allow both knees to come into your chest, giving yourself a nice hug, maybe rocking side to side to give your lower lumbar a little massage. Should feel nice. Let's change the interlacing of the hands and place the hands underneath the knees, so behind the knees, and then rock and roll up the length of your spine until you come into a nice seated position. Let's make our way onto our hands and our knees. Let's stack the wrist underneath the shoulders and allow the knees to draw underneath the hips. Push down into the tops of the shins and the tops of the feet. And then with an inhale, as you push down into your hands, draw the chest and the sternum through the arms. The belly drops down towards the mat and the tailbone goes up towards the sky for cow pose. The gaze can be neutral or you can start walking it up the wall. As you exhale, continue to push down into the hands to rise up through the chest. Arch your upper thoracic spine. Allow the lower belly to draw in towards the midline and the tailbone to drop down towards the mat for cat pose. When you're ready, inhale to draw the chest and the gaze starts to walk up the wall. Tailbone goes up towards the sky for cow. Linking your breath to the movement and articulating your spine one vertebrae at a time. As you exhale, push down into your hands so your biceps roll forward and your triceps roll back. Continue to draw the chin in towards the chest, the lower belly in towards the midline, tailbone down towards the mat. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Allow the chest to rise up, the tailbone to go up towards the mat, sky. Linking one more breath to movement. Move on your own pace. Nice deep breath in for cat. And then as you exhale, rounding that upper thoracic spine. When you're ready, let's tuck the toes and hover the knees just to activate the midline. Let's pull the hips up and back into our first Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. From this down dog, let's take a peek up at our hands and make sure that all 5 fingers or 10 fingers are pointing forward. But let's make sure that the pointer finger is pointing straight forward. If your shoulders are a little bit tight this afternoon, allow the hands to naturally display out to the right and to the left. Push down into the hands so that the forearms are lifted up, and then get your biceps, the flesh of the near the ears, to roll up towards the sky. And then the upper outer arms, the triceps, to roll down towards the mat. Let's take a peek back at our toes. Make sure that the heels are displayed outwards and they're tucking behind the second toe. If the hamstrings, the back of the legs are a little bit tight today, put a deep, generous bend in the knees. Very nice. Come up onto the tippy toes. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, allow the heels to gently guide themselves back down towards the mat. They never have to meet. Moving through any natural rituals you have during this downward facing dog. If you like to pedal out or wag your tail, go ahead and do that now. And then as you're ready, start to walk your hands back. Keep a deep, generous bend in the knees so that the top of the chest rests onto the top of the thighs. Tent the hands next to the feet. And then begin to shift the weight forward into your toes, straightening out the legs any amount that is comfortable to you. Uttanasana, forward fold. Should be a nice release on your lower back. Feel the stretch on the hamstrings. Continue to lean forward into the toes. Straighten out the legs, hands come onto the hips, straighten out the spine, and then stand all the way up into the sky. Very nice. Let's make our way up to the top of the mat, so walk our way up and find Tadasana. So we're going to push down into the big toes, looking down at feet. If you have a sensitive back, lower back, maybe the feet at hip distance apart might serve us better today. But if you're not having any issues, go ahead and have the big toes touching with a sliver of space between your heels. And at the same time, we're all going to push down into the big toe and then the pinky toe. Let's find the outer edges of our heels. Draw the arches up by drawing the kneecaps up the legs. This is going to activate the thighs. Continue to draw the tailbone down towards the mat and pick up the frontal hip points. Draw your front ribs towards the back and then pick the back of the ribs up off of the waist to grow tall. The arms float next to your waist, palms are open, and then allow the shoulder heads to move away from the ears to make space throughout the neck. As if there were little weights on your fingertips, allowing the hands to draw down towards the mat. Maybe we can draw the hands in towards the chest and allow the gaze to start to lower towards the horizon. Maybe setting an intention for your practice or the rest of your evening. When you're ready, as you inhale, draw the arms forward and above, allowing the pinkies to lead for a full external rotation throughout the shoulders. When you reach the top of the head, palms face each other. As you exhale, hinge over your thighs for Uttanasana, forward fold. As you inhale, draw the hands underneath the knees, lift up halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, fold back over your thighs. There can be a deep, generous bend in the knees. Strong legs, strong spine, rise you back up into the sky. And the hands come straight down the center on an exhale. Samastitihi. Very nice. Let's do that again. As we inhale, float the arms forward and above. Grow tall through the sides of the waist by picking the back of the ribs up off the waist. And then hinge over your thighs. Uttanasana, forward fold. With an inhale, grow tall through the sides of the waist. Draw the shoulder heads away from the ears. Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, hinge back over the thighs. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky. Arms float up above your head. As you exhale, hands come straight down the middle for Samastitihi. Last time, as you inhale, float the arms forward and above. Grow tall. As you exhale, fold over your thighs. Uttanasana, forward fold. As you inhale, come up halfway with the long spine. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hinge back over your thighs. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky. And then as you exhale, arms come straight down the center, Samastitihi. Let's build on to that. So with an inhale, float the arms out to the side and then up and above your head. Grow tall through the sides of the waist and exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Keep shifting the weight forward into your toes. Lift up halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, hands come down towards the mat. Right foot steps back, left foot steps back. You're at the top of the push-up. Both knees come down towards the mat. Bend your elbows halfway, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower down all the way onto the mat. Unroll your body. Push down to all 10 toes. Push down into the tops of the feet. And then draw the ankles in towards each other. Push down into your pubic bone and then draw your hands back to meet your ribs. Elbows draw in towards each other. Push down into the hands. And with an inhale, lift your forehead, lift your sternum up for Bhunjane Asana, Baby Cobra. As you exhale, forehead comes down towards the mat. Push into your hands and knees and come into a neutral tabletop position. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, pull your hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Look up at your hands, the right foot steps up, and then the left knee comes down. As you inhale, arms float full up and above your head for a low lunge. Continue to draw the tailbone down towards the mat. Pick the back of the ribs up off the waist. As you exhale, both hands come down. Right foot steps back. Both knees come down. Lower down halfway, Chaturanga. Either unroll your body or inhale for your back bend, Bhunjane Asana, or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. As you exhale, pull your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Very nice. Inhale, right foot steps up to the right hand, left knee comes down towards the mat. Inhale, float your arms up and above the head. As you exhale, hands come down towards the mat. Left foot steps up to the right. Inhale, come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, fold over your thighs. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky, Utthita Hasta Tadasana. And then as you exhale, hands come straight down the center, Samastitihi. You guys are doing wonderful. Let's do that again. Arms flow out to the side and up and above your head. Grow tall through the sides of the waist. Exhale, hinge over your thighs. Uttanasana. Inhale, shift forward into the toes. Rise up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, left foot steps back. Left knee comes down towards the mat. Inhale to float the arms either on top of your knee or above your head. As you exhale, hands come down towards the mat. Step the right foot back. You're at the top of a push-up. Shift forward onto your tippy toes and then bend your elbows halfway for Chaturanga Dandasana. Flip over the tops of the toes. Keep the hips lifted. Lift the sternum and the chest for Ardha Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. And then as you exhale, pull your hips up and back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Look up at the hands. The left foot steps up to the left hand. Right knee comes down towards the mat. Inhale, arms float above the left knee or up and above your head. Keep allowing the tailbone to draw down towards the mat. Lift the sternum and the chest up. Maybe we look up at our hands as they seal. As you exhale, hands come down towards the mat. The right foot steps up to the left. Inhale, come up halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, fold over your thighs. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky. And then as you exhale, hands come straight down the center, Samasthiti. Last time together, let's float the arms forward and above. This time, allow the palms to touch at the top of your heads and look up at your thumbs. Pick the back of the ribs off the waist. As you exhale, fold over your thighs, Uttanasana. Keep shifting the weight forward into your toes. Lift the sternum up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, the right foot steps back, right knee comes down towards the mat. Inhale, lift the arms up and above your head. As you exhale, step the left foot back, come into a top of a push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to find your back bend, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. As you exhale, pull your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Very nice, everybody. Let's step the right foot up to the right thumb. Left knee comes down towards the mat. Inhale, arms float up and above the sides of your head. Maybe this time the palms seal at the top of your head and you look up at your thumbs. As you exhale, hands come down towards the mat. Left foot steps up to meet the right. Inhale, lift the sternum up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, hold over your thighs, Uttanasana. Inhale, stand all the way up into the sky, Utthita Hasta Entarasana. And then as you exhale, hands come straight down the center, Samasthiti. Very nice, everyone. So let's open up to the right side. Take a nice wide stance out to the right. Take up the mat, so about 4 feet underneath you. And if you like, you can go ahead and bend your wrists so that you can see if they're stacking the wrists directly above the ankles. And then from deep within your right hip socket, let's externally rotate that right thigh, knee, shin, and foot 90 degrees. Put a deep, generous bend in that right knee. And then drop your left heel back at a 45-degree angle to seal the back of the mat. Nice, strong left leg into Tadasana. And then spread your hands out to a T. Take the torso off of the right thigh and stack the shoulders directly above your hips. Spread across the chest and the collarbone, so reach back with your left hand. Very nice. Sink a little bit deeper into that right knee and then push the right knee towards the right little baby toe so that you have a nice external rotation, that hip. And breathe. When you're ready, right forearm comes onto that right thigh. And then as you exhale, sweep the left arm past your left ear for Parsva Konasana, extended side angle. With an inhale, allow length to find the sides of the waist. And then as you exhale, draw the left ribs back and the right ribs up towards the sky. Inhale, always finding length, so maybe pull the forehead away from the midline and look up at the corner of the ceiling. Very nice. As you exhale, come back up into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. We're just passing through. Parallel your feet, draw your hands up and above your head, seal the palms at the top of your head. And then as you exhale, from deep within your left hip socket, externally rotate that left thigh, knee, shin, and foot. Let's draw that right heel back at a 45-degree angle, making sure we're at a left heel, right arch alignment. Spread your arms out to a T and then draw your torso up off of that left thigh. Stack the shoulders above the hips. Keep drawing that left hip underneath you. Inhale, grow tall through the sides of the waist. And then when you're ready, exhale, sink a little bit deeper into that left knee for Virabhadrasana 2. Maybe your gaze is over the left middle finger, and maybe you take a peek down at that left pinky baby toe. If you can see it, maybe draw that left knee towards the left pinky. Continue to breathe here on your own. And then when you're ready, the left forearm comes onto the left thigh. As you inhale, sweep that right arm over and across your right ear for extended side angle, Parsva Konasana. Inhale to find length, grow tall, maybe pull the forehead away from the midline. And then when you're ready to exhale, draw the right hips back, right ribs back, and the left ribs up towards the sky. So try to get your belly and your chest up towards the sky. Everybody's doing a beautiful job. It looks wonderful. Trust that you're in the pose and breathe. When you're ready, let's draw back up, passing through Virabhadrasana 2. Parallel the feet out, hands come onto the hips. Let's drop the heels back so that you're making sure that the heels are displayed outwards and the toes are drawing inwards. There should be a nice wide stance. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, hinge over your thighs and the hands can stack directly underneath the shoulders. At the same time, we're all going to shift forward into our toes because we should feel this in our hamstrings and the adductors. That should be the inner thigh muscles. When you're ready, begin to walk your hands back so that the heel of the hands and the heel of the feet are in line with each other. Keep drawing the elbows in towards each other as if we were in Chaturanga arms. The crown of the head can come down towards the mat. It does not need to touch. Continue to breathe here while as you shift forward into your toes. Here in Prasarita Padottanasana D. See? When you're ready, as you inhale, continue to walk your hands forward, stacking them directly underneath your shoulders. And then hands come onto the hips, rise up all the way into the sky. Maybe heel toe your feet in towards each other and take a nice big step up to the top of the mat. Very nice. Now let's make our way onto the mat. So sit down onto your buttocks and lay down onto your back. Keep the feet planted on the floor and then walk them back so that the ankles are stacked directly underneath the knees. Anchor down into your hands, anchor down into your feet, and then lift the hips up, lift the spine up off of the floor. So you're in Setu Bandha Saurangasana, which is bridge pose. We're not worrying too much about alignment here, but what I do want you to bring awareness to is how you lower down onto your spine, articulating your vertebrae, articulating your spine one vertebrae at a time. So as you lower down, allow yourself to slowly lower down. So just don't drop into your hips. If you have a block and you're a fan of restorative bridge, go ahead and slide that block underneath your sacrum and rest on that. But if you're not having a block, when you're ready, anchor down into the hands and the feet. Lift the hips and the spine up off of the mat. Draw the right shoulder underneath you and then the left shoulder. Maybe grab onto the outer edges of the mat or interlace your hands underneath you. Push down into your hands so that you can spread across the chest and the collarbones. Push down into your feet so that you can continue to rise the frontal hip points up towards your shoulders. When you're ready, again, allow yourself to slowly lower down, articulating your spine one vertebrae at a time. Maybe allowing your hips to rest onto your wrists to give yourself a little baby massage. Letting go of whatever you're holding on to and you're interlacing. And then making any adjustments that you need to. So maybe you need to readjust the feet by walking them back or forward. When you're ready, anchor down into the hands and feet, lift the spine, lift the sacrum up. This time, draw the left and then the right shoulder in. And then if you interlace, this time interlace one finger over. It's going to feel a little bit different, but it's the non-habitual way. Push down into the feet. And then without actually moving your feet in space, try to draw them back towards your shoulders. And this is going to activate the hamstrings and loosen up the flesh of the gluteus maximus. Push down into the hands to spread across the chest and the collarbones. You're doing wonderful. And then when you're ready, let go of whatever it is you're holding on to and begin to lower yourself down onto the mat. Very nice, everybody. So when you're ready, as you rest onto the mat, if your feet are planted onto the mat and that takes out any maybe sensitivity in the lower back, keep your feet planted. If you're okay with extending both legs straight out in front of you, go ahead and do that now. And then if you have your strap, with an inhale, allow the right leg to come straight up into the sky, and then take your strap, belt, or towel and wrap it around the big mound of your toes. Drive through that left heel as if you were going to push the wall in front of you. And then pull down onto the mat, the strap or the towel or whatever you're holding onto. If you like, you can grab onto the big toe and then with your peace fingers and then do a yogi lock with the thumb. Or grab onto the shins or the sides of the clothes. But allow the back of the head and the shoulders to rest onto the mat. This is a Supta Padangusthasana. And then when you're ready, allow the right leg to extend straight out in front of you or put the right foot onto the mat. That helps your lower back. And then when you're ready, as we inhale, the left leg goes straight up into the sky, choosing to either do a toe lock or take your towel strap belt and loop it around the big toe mounds, the big mound of your toes. Continue to drive forward through your right heel. Feeling how the mind's starting to wander a little bit more, the heart rate starting to lower, the breaths are starting to lengthen, so the inhales are beginning to meet the exhales again. And then when you're ready, extend both legs out in front of you, and then put your feet onto the floor so your knees are straight up into the sky. With an inhale, draw the right ankle over the left knee. And this should be a very nice stretch right here. If you like, press gently onto the tops of your thighs to release the lower back. If you're looking for a deeper stretch, choose to draw the left knee in towards the chest and interlace around the shin or behind the knee. For thread the needle. If we're still looking for a deeper sensation, maybe we can shift over onto that left hip ever so slightly, just changing the way it feels on the outer right hip. Maybe the right elbow extends out to gently apply pressure onto that right knee. These are all just offerings. We don't have to do everything to the max. And then as you exhale, let go of the left knee or whatever it is you're holding on to. Plant both feet onto the floor. Rest in this nice neutral, nice pelvis position. Maybe release the flesh of the lower back by pushing onto the tops of the thighs. And then when you're ready, with an inhale, draw your left ankle over the right knee. Maybe this is where we stopped the first time. If you're ready to move forward, noticing maybe one side might be tighter than the other. When you're ready, draw the right knee in towards your chest. And then if you had to lift your head and your shoulders up, let go of whatever it is you're holding on to. With an inhale, draw that knee back into your chest and choose to interlace behind your knee. Maybe shift over onto that right hip to change the sensation. Mind begins to wander. It's completely natural and normal. Just recognize and honor your thoughts, but that they have moved away from your breath. Allow the right foot and the left foot to come down towards the mat. Interlace your hands behind your knees and then rock and roll up the length of your spine until you come into a seated position. In your seated position, with an inhale, allow the arms to float up and above your head. Pick the back of the ribs up off the waist. As you exhale, hinge over your thighs for Paschimottanasana, grabbing onto the sides of your clothes or the outer edges of your feet. Continuing to draw back through the hips and driving through the heels. And then if your mind begins to wander to a memory, a thought, or a plan, recognize it, but that it's moved away from your breath. And if your mind wanders to a sensation in your leg or a sound in the room, just notice it's moved away from your breath. When you're ready, with an inhale, come up halfway with a long spine, draw the chest up and the sternum up. And then as you exhale, let go of whatever it is you're holding on to and come onto your backs. Let's come into our final asana of the day, Shavasana, our final resting pose. Let's make any necessary adjustments that we need to. So with an inhale, let the chest rise up, let the back of the ribs expand across the mat. As you exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the mat, allowing both of the palms to rest onto the floor. Inhale, allow the belly to rise up. And then as you exhale, allow the legs to naturally display open to the right and to the left. One more time together. Inhale, nice deep breath into the nose. And then as you exhale, sink just a little bit deeper into the mat, coming back to that support that Mother Nature is supporting you with underneath you, like she has every day. Taking a nice deep breath in and noticing how the inhales are nice and slow, and then how the exhales have extended to be nice and slow. Continuing to take deep breaths in through the nose, feeling how the air gently moves across the little hairs. And as you exhale, gently sigh the breath out that you're holding on to, sinking a little bit deeper into your mat. Allowing yourself to sit here for the last couple moments. Nice deep breaths into the nose. Open mouth, sigh, exhales, let it all go. When you're ready, allow gentle movement back into your body by grazing your thumbs across your pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky. Little soft circles in your toes, ankles, and wrists. Nice deep breath into the nose. And then as you exhale, rolling over to your favorite side, allowing your hand to get heavy, pausing just for a moment. When you're ready, push down into your hand, saying goodbye to Mother Earth, and rise up to meet Father Sky. Allowing the right foot to cross in front of the left, Allow the chin to still gently rest in towards the chest. Allow the gaze to rest down towards the mat or the floor. And let's just stop and recognize the work that you've done today on the mat. The hardest part was showing up, and you've already done that. Everything else was a bonus. The highest light in me sees and honors the highest light in all of you. Yeah. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday afternoon. I did this class Zoom style because everybody is opening back up in the studios, and I think a lot of us got very comfortable in our homes. And yoga is really expensive. Like, it's really expensive. And I want to be able to give it to you. I wanted to bring it to my community. I want you guys to have it, and I want you to enjoy all of it. I want you to have the experiences just like everybody else is having. So everybody else is doing Zoom, and I'm here on Facebook offering it to you, and you don't get that Zoom style of experience. The reason zooming could be helpful is because it helps you with your listening skills. It helps you with not having those wandering eyes, bringing awareness and focus all onto yourself, and then just being able to listen to the cues and to the asanas, or to the guided sequence that we're offering you. And then just being able to just move through that way instead of having to always look up to see if you're in the pose. This allows you to trust yourself that you landed in the pose correctly. I believe you guys all did. I know you have been practicing. So just keep in mind, this is a practice. This isn't just something that we wake up and decide to do when we feel like it. It is a practice. We should visit our mat over and over again. I'm not saying there aren't times that it doesn't get boring and we don't switch something for a little bit or try to find something to pique our interest again. That definitely does happen. But I'm just saying that this is a practice. We do have to show up onto our mat frequently. And that's the way it's going to get to work on our skills. So I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys next week. Take care. I'll go on it.